Hi friends, welcome to our channel. Friends, I'm so thankful that I get to be with you again today. Today we're going to go ahead and style my Hoosier cabinet. It's a place I've kind of held off on sharing with you guys because if you all know those beautiful cabbage plates and saucers from Target, I was hoping to get some of the cups, but unfortunately my store was sold out and I was not able to find them online either. So that's okay, but I was holding out for that. But since that's not going to happen, I'm going to go ahead and decorate my cabinet with what I have. I do have those plates, so I'm excited to incorporate some of that green into my cabinet filled with all the white dishes in ironstone. So I hope you'll join me today. But again, I want to apologize for the way I look. It's really a cold and dreary rainy day here in Oklahoma, and I've got to get out and do some work. And when I'm out, I thought I might stop at the thrift store, and if I happen to do, I'll be sure to share with you if I find anything. But so I'm gonna go work. When I come home, I'm gonna decorate this cabinet with you guys and share with you what it looks like. So friends, thank you for being here and joining me. If you like this video, I hope you'll consider giving us a thumbs up. It really helps our channel. And if you haven't subscribed, friends, I hope you'll consider subscribing because we would love to have you be a part of our YouTube family. Okay, friends, let's get started and decorate this cabinet. Friends, this is my Hoosier cabinet that I want to decorate with you today. Now looking at it, it looks completely full, but I've actually taken out quite a bit, and so now we're going to add back in. Friends, I am a maximalist, especially right here on this Hoosier cabinet. I like to keep a lot of my white ironstone and different pottery pieces right here. And so to me, I just want to add to that look. So again, this will be an overload of items in one place, and so if you don't like that, I just want to apologize ahead of time, but this is what I like, and so that's what I want to share with you today. As you can see on my table, I have gathered quite a few things that I think I want to play with and try to add back into this cabinet. Now no, not everything makes its way back in, but the majority of it actually does. So let's get started. Friends, you'll have to leave me a comment below and let me know if you were able to score any of these gorgeous cabbage dishes. I know Michael's had some, and of course these are from Target, and I think they are so pretty. Again, I wish I could have got the cup and saucers, but you know what? Maybe they'll bring it back and I'll be able to get some next year. If not, it's all okay. But I am going to try to display these the best I can in this cabinet. Now, if you're new here, I live in a really small home, and so I don't have a place to store all of these dishes. So instead of taking everything out, I'm just trying to layer on top of it. And so we're just going to do the best we can. As you can see, I've added one to each of the shelves, and my thought was to place one here and then maybe put a cloche on top. But after looking at it for a little bit, I had another thought. So let's see how this works out. I have this Hoosier. There is a place to put a cookbook. Now I thought I could set this inside. This kind of makes me a little nervous, but I don't think the plate will slip out. But just to be sure, make it feel a little more tight, I will add a wreath behind it. But I thought this would work. I just love that you could see more of the plate. But if you'll stay to the end, you will see how I end up changing it. It just didn't look right in my mind's eye. So y'all tell me what you think about having this plate right here. Okay, now let's move over and decorate these square cake plates that I got years ago. And friends, I don't have a link for these. I really did try to find some for y'all, but I can't find any that I can share with you. I found mine, like I said, years ago at TJ Maxx, and I just love using them. I stack them on top of each other, and I just usually keep them right here. As you can see, I added some paper shred, and I just take old book pages and cut into tiny strips to make shred. And I like using that throughout my home all year round. Another thing I like to use are old buttons. I just love the layering effect that this gives. It adds texture, and it just is something a little unexpected. So we're going to layer these two items on top of these plates, and then we'll go in and add a few fun things. Friends, if you watched this shopping video I did at Home Goods, I got this beautiful chocolate bunny at Home Goods. I just added this ribbon, and this came from Hobby Lobby. I believe it's still available there, but I just added that around its neck. I know it's a little big, but that's all I had on hand, and I think it's going to work just fine. Now, to complete this look, I've got a few other things. I've got these really sweet little candy molds. They're not old, but they're supposed to look like, you know, a replica of old ones, and they're miniature. And I'm just going to display those all around the buttons. Okay friends, I think this turned out so sweet. So you'll have to let me know what you think about this display right here. But let's go ahead and gather a few more things together that I can use to display in this cabinet. And friends, I'm doing this on the fly. I usually kind of know what I'm doing, which I kind of know what I'm doing anyway when I decorate. I mean, in my mind's eye, I kind of have things figured out in my head. So let's just move things around and see how I can display them so I can pack as much in here as I can get. And again, I'm doing this because this is something that I enjoy. If you like a look that is more minimal, like my sister does, she likes things more minimal than me, that's okay. Just do what you love. Friends, if you don't have butter pats when you are out thrifting, make sure you're always looking at the little child's tea sets because they have those really small dishes and they always can fill in until you're able to get a collection of butter pats put together. So I love picking those up whenever I can. But now I'm just going to tuck in this sweet bunny that I got from Walmart a couple years ago. He's one of my favorites. So look what I found at the thrift store today, y'all. I found some white cabbageware dishes Look at this sweet cabbage dish. It has some staining in it. I was so excited. It was only $2. And then I found this beautiful bowl. This one is from Goodwill, and this was only $1, and the stamp on the back says made in the USA. So I don't know much about these, but I'm definitely going to try to work these into my cabinet. I also thrifted this gorgeous ironstone platter. If you know me, you know how much I have a weakness for platters. It was $3.98, and I mean, look at this gorgeous stamp. It is definitely ironstone, and so I want to try to work this in my display. So I'm gonna move it over in just a little bit. I'm going to show you exactly where I place it. So now let's just add in a few little touches to this cabinet that really helps me figure out placement and if I have everything where it needs to go. So look at this gorgeous card. This came from my friend JeanE. Friends, if you don't follow her, go over and check out her channel. She has the most amazing vintage collection. You will love her. And I also want to share my other friend with you, Tammy, over at Isaac's Rusty Wagon. Friends, her home is amazing too. Both of these ladies have the most incredible homes with the most incredible collections of vintage goodness. If you love old things, you will absolutely adore these precious two ladies. So please go over and check out their channels. Again, I know you will love them as much as we do. So now let's go ahead and take some of these butter pats that I have collected and let's place them over here in this sweet dish that I have. Now, I just love the look of adding all of these pieces together, but as you can see, friends, this is just a little child's tea set, and I'm just going to add in a couple of these. If you don't have enough butter pats, this is a perfect thing to add. When you stack all of them on top of each other, you really can't tell what they are. So to top this look off, I have these gorgeous square butter pats that I bought last year, and so I'm just going to display them right here in this dish. And friends, I think the stamp is almost as pretty as the butter pats themselves, so I'm going to turn some over just so we can look at that gorgeous stamp. So moving over here, I have this gorgeous little pedestal, and I've got this gorgeous stained ironstone plate. Look at that gorgeous stamp. Oh, friends, so pretty. So let's just make a vignette right here. And so I'm just gonna put that plate on top of the cake stand. I'm gonna add this bunny cutting board I have right there. And then we're just going to add a little display on top. Now I've got just a bunch of this greenery, of course it came from Hobby Lobby, and I just cut off a couple of pieces. I thought I needed 2 pieces, but actually just one will be sufficient. So I'm going to lay that down, and then I'm just going to grab a couple of chocolate bunnies. This one came from the Pop Shelf. If you don't have one of those, I think Walmart has them as well. I don't know, I couldn't find any at mine, but I've heard people say they got some this year. Our stores just didn't carry them. But I'm just going to add this other chocolate bunny that came from Hobby Lobby years ago, and that's it. I just think that is so pretty. As you can see, I tucked that beautiful platter right there underneath those cake plates. Now this bowl I'm going to struggle with for a little bit. I couldn't figure out where to put it. I wanted to use it. I just got it. It's a cabbageware. It needs to be over here, but I couldn't figure out where. So stay tuned and see what I do with that. But let's switch gears for just a minute. Friends, look at this gorgeous pedestal that I was able to thrift today for around $7. Now, many years ago when JeanE Gaines had her small little store in Texas, my sister and I, we stopped with my daughter, and it was there, and I wanted to buy it, but I didn't. So I was so glad I was able to finally get one to add to my collection. And so I'm going to use that right over here. So let's place it, and then let's go ahead and add in a few other things. Friends, I was so excited that the lilacs are blooming, and I was able to pick some to put in this gorgeous crock. I love this look. It's so pretty, and I just added it on top of this pedestal. And as you can see, I moved that mirror down to the bottom. And so I'm going to take these little other pedestals I have, which I've just added these moss bunnies to, and scoot them over. And then I'm going to pull in this old birdhouse that I've had for a long time. I love this color green. And then the only other thing I want to add is just a bird's nest. So let's style underneath this. As you can see, I've got those gorgeous apothecary jars. I'm going to bring in this gorgeous print that my friend JeanE gifted me with. I love this so much. I just added it to the bottom, and then I'm just going to add this silver tray, and inside I'm just going to tuck in a few things. I found this when I was out thrifting one day. I think it's so cool. The picture really doesn't go with what I'm doing, but I just love just that little extra something. So let's add in these clocks, and I think that completes this look. It almost completes this look. I forgot. I got this bunny at Walmart this year. It ties in with what I have above, and I'm just going to add him below. And friends, that's all I'm going to do right here. Okay, now let's just get one more look at this Hoosier, and just hold tight because I'm going to change a few things over here. Okay, so I decided to change just a few things. I went ahead and put the bowl right there, and then I had this dish where the bowl is, and I just placed it right here. I love this dish. I love the little edges around the dish, and so I wanted to make sure I used it. So I've got everything pretty much in place, and you'll notice I have changed a few things. I did add those little salt shakers to that one dish with the butter pats, but I'm going to take that away in a minute. I moved the chocolate bunny over to the side and added the towel, and I think that looks so much better. Now I just want to add in this dish because I love it so much. I've got that old tarnished silverware, which I love, and I think this looks really good. But again, that dish right there, that little plate, is bothering me, so let's move it. Okay, I like the look of this much better. So you guys tell me what you think, if you think I made the right decision or not. Hey friends, thank you so much for stopping by today and watching me as I decorated my cabinet for spring and Easter. I hope I was able to give you some inspiration. But friends, before I go, I just wanted to ask you if you would consider giving us a thumbs up. It really does help our channel and we appreciate it so much. And before I go, I just want to share with you this beautiful Bible verse. My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Friends, what is it in your life that you struggle with? Just know that those things that you struggle with in your life is where God can use you to do great things. I just pray that you will trust the Lord in all that you do. Friends, thank you for being here. We appreciate each and every one of you. And friends, we look forward to seeing the next one. Bye, y'all.